Hi guys, today we have one last palpation for this class. This is our subject, Reggie. Reggie, do I have permission to palpate? Sweet. I'm gonna look at the foot and the ankle. So, let's start by finding our malleoluses. We have a medial malleolus here and a lateral malleolus here. If we palpate medially, we'll find the talus right here. Talus refers to Roman, to ankle bone. So when we have our patient evert and invert his foot, we can feel the talus moving. We have the calcaneus right here, the base of the foot that takes a lot of the force when we plant our foot when we're walking. And then we can take a look at the feet. Our first toe has only 2 joints. The rest have 3. Here we have our metatarsal phalangeal joint at the base. And then here we have our interphalangeal joint. However, for toes or phalanxes 2, 3, 4, and 5, we have metatarsal phalangeal joint at the base. Then we have the distal, at the very end, we have the distal interphalangeal joint. And then we have in the middle the proximal interphalangeal joint. And that's going to be the same with all of these. Metatarsal phalangeal, proximal interphalangeal, and distal interphalangeal. So then we can take our subject's foot and do a flat hand sweep. And then as soon as we find this bone sticking out right here, that's going to be the base of the 5th metatarsal. And then we can wrap around and we have the Achilles tendon that runs into the calcaneus. All right, next up is the muscles. So let's check them out. Let's start by orienting ourselves. So if we're working on the left leg, this is going to be the medial side. This will be the lateral side. So let's start by looking at the gastrocnemius. Gastrocnemius is this big muscle right here. Holy smokes, look at that definition. It's got 2 heads, 1 lateral, 1 medial. Below that, we have the soleus. The soleus runs deep to the gastrocnemius and runs down into the ankle. We can also take a look at plantar fascia. It's not a muscle, but it's a thick band of tendon that starts at the calcaneus, and then it branches off into each of our phalanges. A lot of people get plantar fasciitis from over too much walking. I see it in the PT clinic all the time. Again, this is the medial side. Tibia is on the medial side. So what we're going to do is find that tibia, and the tibialis anterior runs right above that, right down there. We can palpate that easily. And then we have the tibialis posterior. So another way to look at that is if we have our patient, just like that, we have the tib anterior. This is going to be the tib posterior. And then tib anterior is going to be right here. So if he inverts, we can see the tib post. And then if he moves just like that, we can find our tib anterior. All right, now the peroneals or the fibularis muscles. So we have our tibia on the medial side, lateral side, we have our fibula. three of these muscles. We have the longus, the brevis, and the tertius. So the longus is going to run all the way from the knee, right about at that lateral epicondyle. It's going to run all the way down. That one's long. Brevis, shorter. It's only going to run about 2/3 of that length. And then we have the tertius, which runs across here. And all it does is dorsiflexion and eversion. Dorsiflexion of the foot and eversion of the ankle. All right, lastly, we have the extensor muscles. We have the extensor digitorum longus and the extensor digitorum hallucis. So these are hard to palpate, but the extensor digitorum hallucis is easy to find if we have our patient bring his toes up as such, because we see this big, prominent structure running down here, and this is going to be running or stemming down from the extensor digitorum hallucis. Only works on the first toe. Other four are stemming from the extensor digitorum longus. So we can kind of trace those back up. It's most prominent and easiest on the first toe, but we can do it on all the other toes as well. And that's it.